Hello again, everybody. This is Dwayne Kilborn from CoasterAddict.com. I want to take a minute and talk about the Coaster Chat that we do every single week on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Many of you have asked us how best to interact and participate, how you can join the chat and follow the conversation better. And I figured it'd be best to take a moment out from all the coaster stuff that we post and just kind of briefly go over how best to interact with the coaster chat again on Tuesday nights 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. First and foremost, if you are in a different part of the world, not in Eastern Standard Time, you can simply go up to say you want to convert and you're not certain exactly what time it is in your time zone. One great way to do is just look on google.com and check to make sure you convert the time accordingly. So what I would recommend is look up a time conversion or time zone converter, and the first one that typically pops up is this one right here, timeanddate.com, and there's some other ones as well. All you have to do is you can look here, you can search the location. It doesn't really matter the date. You can probably go here, of course, and type in 9 p.m. or 2100 hours and the 0 minutes there, and you can pick whichever one you want. If you're in Brazil and you want to, we're probably going to go the other way around. If you're in, I would pick Georgia time or anywhere in the Eastern Standard Time, and then let's say you're in Brazil. So depending on where you're at, you pick which you want to and click convert, and you'll see right here that it's 9 p.m. in Atlanta, which is Eastern Standard Time right here, which is minus GMT -5. And then you can look over here and you'll see this actually 11 p.m. in Brazil, still on that given day. Of course, sometimes it might be a different area, and of course sometimes you have daylight savings time. So this is an easy way to figure out and guarantee exactly what time it is. Of course, on the Twitter feed and also on Facebook, we do take the time to post probably about an hour before or even a few hours before, and just remind everybody to the best of our ability. So keep that in mind as well. Go ahead and, of course, if you're following us on Twitter at coaster_addict, or if you're have liked us on Facebook, facebook.com/coasteraddict, you will get most of those updates that way and a little reminder. So, but if you want to set a reminder for yourself, use this time zone converter. If you like to use this time zone converter, it'll help you out and you won't miss a chat at any given time. Also, too, one other option is if you go to coasteraddict.com, you'll see right here. Currently, I have Fury 325 when it opens, and we will put some new ones up for different rides from time to time in different parks. But right here, Coaster Chat, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It gives you a countdown. And once the chat happens, it zeroes out, and shortly after the chat, I'll reset this. So it gives you a little update underneath here. So anytime you're on our site, on the right-hand side, you can also look at the countdown, and it will tell you how many more hours or days or whatnot until the next chat goes live. So there you have it. That's one way to double check the time and make sure that you don't miss it. Now, once you know what time it is, you want to follow along the conversation. By popular demand, we have added Facebook to the chat platform that we're using, I should say. We've always used it as what they call a tweet chat, and we use Twitter for that or some other social media tool to monitor and ask questions. But a lot of people are on Facebook and they wanted us to utilize that platform as well, and that's what we ended up doing. So we actually are on both platforms right now, and if there's a certain platform that you'd like us to add and monitor for the coaster chat at the same time, we can try to accommodate that as well. Feel free to send us a tweet or send us a message over on Facebook, and we'll see what we can do and go from there. So let's say you're on Twitter. How do I go about doing this? Well, we have a few ways to do this. First off, if you go to Twitter, you log into your account, and you'll notice that, of course, I have our account here, the Coaster Addict, Coaster_Addict, and you'll look and you'll see all of our information there, the last tweet that we shared. And if you go up to the top and you go to search Twitter, put the hashtag and then Coaster Chat, no spaces, hit enter. Don't click on a name or anything like that. This will show all the results. It defaults to the top results, so you could do all, and it should put us in a reverse chronological order. Now, what you will notice is that you'll see questions. If it's a question, and we typically will ask a question every 5 to 10 minutes, probably starting around 9:05 or so, once everyone kind of gets into the groove and says their hellos, you'll see Q, Q1, Q2, Q3. Those are questions. And you'll see a lot of people will be answering, and the best way I think to answer would be to use A1, A2, A3. That way, if you have an answer for a specific question, people know what question you're answering, and especially with limited number of characters, you're limited to 140 characters on Twitter. Using A1, A2, A3 to answer the corresponding question makes it a lot easier to follow the conversation. Sorry about that. Okay, so there we are. That's what we have for Twitter. Now, something that's not as easy. One tool that we use a lot, both for CoasterAddict.com and also for some of the other brands, and both personally and professionally, would be Hootsuite. And I happen to have the the pro version that I use. However, you can get the free version as well at Hootsuite.com. If you're not already signed up. Of course, there are some other platforms out there. If you just type in social media into Google social media tool, you can find a variety of different options for you. I happen to like Hootsuite, and many of our team members do as well. So now, if you are going to be looking at the Coaster Chat a lot and you're following along often, you can always preset and add a stream, as you want to call it. So first and foremost, before we get to there, if you go up here to find, do a search, and you type in the same thing, Coaster Chat, and you hit enter, it's going to pop up the same thing you saw on Twitter. But again, it's nice and easy, and you can hit save stream, or you can go over, let me exit out here, you can go over to add a stream here, and you just go to search. And if you have multiple profiles, make sure you pick your Twitter profile over here, and then drop down from the one that corresponds to you that you want to use as a default responding profile, and then type in Coaster Chat, and then you would hit add stream, and there you'd have it. Now, I've already done that for us here at Coaster Addict. So you'll see on the Coaster Chatter tab that we've created, we follow a lot of different popular hashtags. And in this case, Coaster Chat and that sort of thing, a roller coaster, iHeart, CP, different things like that. But we put Coaster Chat here so we can follow along and refresh it from time to time. If it does not do it by itself, refresh it, and you're all set. And you can just simply go here and reply at any point in time. And of course, when you do reply, make sure you have the hashtag Coaster Chat on there, and that will allow you to be dropped automatically into the conversation stream, and make it a lot easier to follow along. Okay, so that's that part there. However, let's say you're not on Twitter, or you don't like Twitter as much as Facebook. So how do you follow along? Again, you can look for the hashtag. If you go here and you type in hashtag Coaster Chat, the first one should be the hashtag itself, and below that you'll see lots of different pages that might be related or similar. So click on the first one, and it will give you an update with people who have used the hashtag on Facebook. Unfortunately, it's not as easy, in my opinion, to go through. And even though I have most recent up here, you see that a lot of the stuff is from before. So these might just be the most popular conversation points. And again, I would recommend that you use a different method instead, because primarily what we're doing, we'll load the same questions onto our Facebook page that we do over on Twitter, and at approximately the same time, within a minute or two. So all you have to do is at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you go to the Coaster Addict page, which is facebook.com/Coaster Addict. Hit enter. Now you'll probably see we'll have something pinned up top. Right now we're very happy to share information about the current First Rider auction over at Carowinds, that they're teaming up with the Cam Newton Foundation for the Fury 325 First Rider auction for a great charity. And so we're really thrilled to talk about that. But if you scroll down, you'll notice, and I'll show you where it was at for the other evening. Okay, so here are all these right here. And again, every 5 to 10 minutes, a new question will pop up from 9 until 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So all you have to do is go in there. You don't have to respond with an A, because again, on Facebook you can just hit the comment and you type right below it. So that's all you need to do is simply respond within here, and you can type as long or as short as you like. People can reply to your replies, go back and forth. We try to keep the conversation going, and it keeps it on point until the next question arrives. And again, during the chat, you can always comment, of course, after the chat if you can't make it, especially on Facebook. But during the chat, all you have to do is refresh, and it'll be right at the top of the page, right below any pinned post. And a lot of times we'll try to take our pinned post down during the chat, so it makes it very, very easy to find the latest and greatest question. So there we have it on those. Again, questions are 5 to 10 minutes apart. If you're on Twitter, two things to remember. And again, over here, I'll pull up Twitter. Definitely end your response with hashtag #CoasterChat. It doesn't have to be capitalized. It can be lowercase. It all works the same. And then to make it easier to follow along, if you are answering a specific question, especially the first time you're answering a question, if you use the A1, A2, A3 at the beginning, it'll allow people to follow along better. So I hope that makes it a little easier. And of course, if you're interacting with any other tweet chat out there, these tips can definitely apply to theirs as well. Of course, it'll just be a different hashtag. So if you have any questions or if any concerns, feel free to comment below on this video, or you can reach us on Twitter or Facebook or anywhere across social media, Instagram, so on and so forth. Or if you need to, if that doesn't work for you, again, you can always go to the Coaster Addict page, go to the contact, and you're all set. Now, one last thing, if you're on Twitter and you can't remember exactly the best way to search, we made it easy on the page. If you go to the far right, click on Coaster Chat, it will redirect you to the search engine over on Twitter, and there it is. So it will leave the CoasterAddict.com page and pop up Twitter by default. But again, feel free to check out some of the different social media tools that might make it easier for you to organize the various chats that you might want to engage upon. And again, thanks for your time, and we'll see you in the next Coaster Chat.